You said
Jesus, Robin.
I know. This is the sort of professionalism I have to put up with.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, much better.
I'm struggle 10 today.
Oh, did you do stuff last night?
Acting school's Christmas party, and then I rode
You
home.
hungover?
I'm a little bit weary, but I also rode home.
We're a bit emotional.
I rode home from Carlton as well today.
Oh, what, on the pushy?
Yeah,
Oh,
one of those
okay.
renter bikes.
Do you have to take it back or what?
Nah, it's just at mine. It was a bit of fun.
Can you just drop it off somewhere?
Yeah, and then I can hire it again.
How much?
I don't know. I think it was a holiday special of free,
Nice.
but it might have been $5.
That's
not bad.
Yeah, that's cool. He's hungover.
And here's Jack.
I'm Jack. And we are...
The Inwits! Merry Christmas! Whee!
Yeah,
Woo! Welcome for our final episode of Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, the big old recap. Thank you for joining us for 3 seasons we've done this. Thank you for watching and enjoying and commenting. We've loved it, but let's get on with it.
I guess, look, it's a 3-episode compression.
It is. It was like I was completely wrong, but we did say at the end of last episode, if they are foolish enough to let Ben go for another idol, they deserve not to win. Ben deserves it.
Well,
when it comes down to that, if fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice. Fool me 3 times. What is that? Is that a thing? How have they? It blows my mind.
I think they were silly.
They were so silly.
But I think they were counting on something that they didn't expect.
That he wasn't going to find an idol.
No. Look, one thing that really surprised me, first let's start at the top. Right? They come back from council, there's 4 of them left with Ben. Right? Dr. Mark, bless his heart, one on the camera goes, they don't realise it, but I'm going to win $1 million. And I was like, look, I mean, it's funny, right? But, he genuinely believed it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was good to see the confidence.
Yeah, he legitimately believed he had a case.
He had a case, right? And we'll get to later when Ryan finally presents his case to the council, and that was quite amusing as well. But, they come back and, Ben immediately goes off looking in the dark.
He spent all night. Everyone slept, and he went.
I don't know what sort of light source he must have had out there. Like, was he using that camera? The cameraman when they walk around, I don't know if they have a light source, right? But he didn't have a light source. So I know from being in the bush, and you know from being in the bush, where there is no civilization. When it's dark, it's dark. Like, you don't even see the rock that you're about to slam your face into until you do, So I don't know what he's actually doing out there all night. I mean, I would assume because it's so dark, you would sleep actually during the dark, try to get up as soon as it's first light. Which
he also was doing.
Yeah, but get up at first light and then go out. But I was sitting there and looking and I thought, well, he does need to do it, right? Yeah. But on the other hand, I said to myself, if you're going to do these nocturnal activities, it's going to kill you in a challenge.
Yeah, but he didn't need I think he played it so much better than wanting to win a challenge.
But
because
I think what we've got to look at here is Ben was very good at getting idols, like Ty good. Ty's just like magnetically drawn to these things, right? Yeah. And Ben's as good as Ty at getting an idol, right? But I think the other side we've got to remember here is that Ben had to get idols.
Yeah.
It wasn't if, but, or maybe.
Yeah, he had to get them.
He had to get them every episode, every council. He needed that idol.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because we've got to put that in context. The reason Ben needed those idols because Ben's social game was so bad, he'd gotten to the stage by 7, when 7 people were left. No one wants to work with him. But what I'm trying to say is, like, Ben's social game was done by 7, right? At the 7th vote, after that, he had no... People didn't want to... Like, look at Ashley and Dr. Mike when they were alone after... When the Atlas went on the reward challenge. Normally that's a time when you're the underdog that you can actually do some trading, right?
Yeah.
Both of them were point blank, no, I don't want to work with you, right?
Yeah.
Everybody there was point blank, I don't want to work with you, Ben. And the reason Ben was in that situation was because of Ben's social game up to that point, right? He had made himself such a bad bad name in that camp.
Yeah.
No, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Those idols, he wasn't going out to get them to play them. He was.
Yeah.
He needed them. Anytime he didn't have an idol,
he was home.
He was home,
yeah.
right? The only way he was going to get 4 was with an idol, right? Every time.
Yeah.
And that's,
I think once Lauren that blew up and Lauren they tried to go for Ben. Ever since then, he needed
every episode, right?
3 in a row.
That to me is a bad player because you've spent your social capital. You have 0 social capital left. And there are players I've liked that have also been in that situation prior.
It's also he got himself into that because there have been players that have got themselves into that situation through no fault of their own, through an alliance sticking together, and you being the last of your alliance.
That's right.
Whereas Ben was always in some form of majority early on that he kind of burnt. And
that's my point is Ben didn't get into that position where he needed those idols because of, like you've said, the other alliance dominating and getting rid of his alliance.
Yeah.
So through no fault of his own, he got there purely and utterly by his own actions.
Yeah.
He was put in that position.
And
that to me is a bad player.
In some respects, there was moments where he didn't have to. Like there was moments. So yes, the Joe, the Cole, those sort of aggressive moments were the personal moments and attacks weren't great. But he was in the majority.
He was in the majority. That's fine.
The moment that he started to play, and I think his own, like the Lauren, Devon, and Ashley going, we need to get rid of him, and they didn't, and then they had to try and get rid of him the next time, which was one. Yeah, you go with your gut.
Yeah,
as we saw with Devon, you go with your gut.
And as we discussed in that episode, as you said, they could have dealt with Joe later.
Yeah, exactly. So easy to deal with him later, but you've let Ben go for one more, and that's a little bit of credit to Ben going, something's not right, I need to work it out, and finding out he's going to be going. But instead of doing, say, a Sandra or something, knowing they're after me, how do I switch the target?
Exactly.
Ben came out and went, you're after me, I hate you. Yeah, he's like, don't you come after me, I'm better than you. And he came in from that aggressive standpoint, which lost him some friends. But as we did say last week, it comes down to the gameplay in the end and the idle play and someone who they were trying to get out and I'm glad, I think Desi mentioned it.
Desi, thank God she brought it up.
Yeah. How foolish are you to let Ben do that?
Look,
that's the thing.
Given the way that Ben was acting though, going out at night looking for an idol, I don't think there was any way they could have stopped him, even with 4 of them, right? I mean,
they could have gone out as well.
Well, actually, that's what I was about to say. That they couldn't have stopped him. Desi's point was, well, why did you? And I think this is what she meant is like, why did you let him get 4 idols? And Chrissy was like, well, we can't watch him 24/7. And I think she missed the point there, and that's what I'm backing you up here. Desi wasn't asking why didn't you physically tackle him and stop him getting it. She was like, well, why didn't you get the idol instead?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? And that is actually the point here. And I couldn't believe it. And this is, I'm skipping ahead here, right? Another episode.
To me, that's one of the key moments of these 3 episodes. Like the voting, Dr. Mike going out is,
I think that's important. But
actually true, yes.
When they're sitting there at 4 and they go, yeah, you can't get another idol. This is the thing. They're not sitting there with knowledge that he hasn't got it. They're sitting there going, well, he can't get it.
Yeah.
But you've said that for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's not come true.
Yeah, that's the strangest thing.
They just sat there complacently going...
that blew my mind. I was standing up screaming at the TV going, you bloody idiots.
What are you doing? I'm like...
He can't, exactly. He can't get another one.
He can't get another one.
What are you talking about?
He's just got 2.
When you say that, I'd be like, let's make sure he gets another one.
This is my plan. And look, at the end of the day though, Chrissy came up with the best thing to do with that false idol. She found a wrapper, she wrapped it up, and she made it look like she'd found the idol. Now, if Ben hadn't have found it by then, right, Ben would have stopped looking because he would have
I don't know.
Why? Because he would have gone,
I don't know, only because of its look, it looked more important.
Well,
that's it. The look.
The other thing she could have done is, but this comes back to what we were saying, and that was a little aside, but you're absolutely right. She should have gone out when Ben left that night. They should have left that night.
Yeah.
Right? They should have gone out, got the idol, and even better, if you do have that false idol on the wrapping, wrap it up and put it out there.
Yeah.
Let him play the false idol. Adam did it to Jay.
If you can try and get him off the scent, and
Exactly.
you tried, and Chrissy didn't do a bad job trying to get him off the scent.
Well, she did the best job she could, really.
Like I said, it was too fancy for someone who's already played 2 idols. And seen other idols played. It's like I don't buy that every other idols look the same. So to me, if I was Ben and I saw that idol, like, that's a really fancy idol. Can I see the paper? The paper is exactly the same. Did. Yeah, and he's like, it's the same as my paper.
But he never he never said anything about that. I think he was quite aware it was an idol, right?
He knew I think he knew it was an idol, but I don't think he was.
He knew there was something fishy about it, but only because he had the idol.
Yeah, and I still reckon he would have looked. I feel like he would have looked just because it's a different idol.
Look,
and
I don't know if he would have, but
we'll see. Oh, we'll never see.
Let's put this. I think Chrissy did do the best thing you can do with it, apart from put it out there like Adam did for Jay.
Yeah. Right? It wasn't a terrible play because I thought she was going to do something completely different. So it wasn't too bad.
No, I thought that was good. But anyway, it's their complacency that ended up killing them, I think.
But I don't know how they could be so complacent. Like, I don't understand how...
It's happened to them twice before he's played an idol. They're still sitting there going, he can't have another one.
Well, it happened...
They've watched Survivor.
Yeah, these are big-time fans. And this is like, Chrissy possibly is being one of the biggest fans, I would say, for playing every single season.
Exactly.
Like, that's huge. You gotta know. And I just don't understand. And it's not like you said it. It started when they said, "All right, when we get to 7, Ben's the last one. We're going to get rid of Ben first." Well, what's your gut telling you? We need to get rid of Ben. So what?
Get rid of Ben.
Waiting.
You won't wait.
For 7.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Get rid of him now.
And then on top of that, the idol starts coming. All this complacency with the idol. That's just this ongoing thing, and it's one of this like.
It's almost like. Once they got the alliance, it's almost like they became blind. It was like, well, we've got the numbers. There's nothing anybody can do.
It's such. I can't fathom how it all happened.
Neither can I. It's really, and this is the devastating thing for me. It is about blindness.
Yeah.
It's almost like they don't even recognise that part of the game can happen. You know, so they can't even consider it.
And look, I can forgive twice.
But I can't even forgive twice. Once is enough.
Once is enough, but then you can be like, but the third time, that is unforgivable. The third time is unforgivable. That to me is, and like I said,
there's only one alleviating factor here, as far as Chrissy and Devon and Ryan go, and it's only a little one. Dr. Mike did say to them a lot. I have been up and down this beach and I have not found an idol. So clearly he was looking.
But right? You spent 37 days with Dr. Mike, who thinks he's controlling the game.
Right.
You got to realise he's probably missing something.
And let's put it this way: Ryan sits there and goes, "Oh, all I've got is my social game, right?" Well, that's fine.
And also, sorry, just to interrupt. No. Ben did say something along the lines of Dr. Mike was looking at the stump with the paper on it, where it says to dig, and there was nothing there because I already had it. Well, Dr. Mike. There's nothing there.
Someone's
who's been looking for the idol?
Yeah, who's been looking? Let's
Someone
have it up.
Bloody has it. Yeah, put 2 and 2 together, please.
Yeah.
If you have been looking in the places where there's a signal, and Ben's been looking since he got back to camp every single time.
Right.
It's like, and that's what I think Ben. I respect Ben for 100% in the ability to.
Tenacity.
It's like
unbelievable.
I was one step ahead of you guys every single time. You're going to give me a fake idol? I already got the real one.
Yeah.
I've done this. I've already got it.
Well, I disagree. He was a step ahead of the guys, right? Because basically, his only strategy came down to getting idols.
Mm.
That's all he had left at the end, right? All he had. That was his only gameplay.
Because you saw it was get an idol and win. He had to get all idols and he had to win the final immunity challenge until secret advantage, which isn't a secret advantage, which I'm sure we'll tap on eventually.
Tap on soon.
But it's like, because you could see, and this is one of the things we've mentioned a few times, I think, is like you play the way you should be playing, and don't change.
Don't change your behaviour.
Like you said, I've got the idol, but I'm still going to go out and look for it.
Exactly.
Oh, well, you've got the idol. Thank you. I don't have to look for it anymore. I don't have to pretend. So Ben did really, really well on pretending, and keep my cards to myself, keep them close. and you don't really know, and those secrets stayed safe, which was great. And you saw the moment, because he didn't win any of the challenges, but you saw the moment in the final challenge where he didn't. You can see how much.
Yeah, of course.
His guard was like, I needed that. I needed that so much, and I let it go. And I'm going home tonight.
He knew he was going home, right? But look, I just back to the idol hunting, right? You've got Devon, who's okay, fit, right? But you've got Ryan, who says, the only thing I've got is my social game. Yeah, sure, but get off your ass, get out of the camp, go have a look at some tree stumps, right? Yeah. If Dr. Mike can go look for an idol, Devon, Chrissy, and Ryan are all capable of looking for an idol. And that's the thing,
it's like, you don't have to follow him. If you follow him,
exactly,
the only thing you know is he'll get the idol.
Well, how about this?
Well, I watched him get it. I know he's got it. Okay, cool, we can plan.
And I think this goes back to Desi's point. There's 4 of you, and she held up a hand. Like, there are 4 of you, and there is 1 of him, right? She's like this. And what she's talking about is, there's 4 of you. You can cover a much bigger area looking for an idol. Ben can, if you see Ben looking in this area, don't go look where he is. Spread out. Look around so when he... Look where he is going to look, not rather than where he's been, right?
Or make sure have 3 people going out, and if you need to back up, have 1 person kind of in the same vicinity.
Exactly, or something like that.
Try
but they did nothing.
They did nothing, and that just and to me, and we said it last week. If he and because you mentioned it, I didn't think there would be the extra idol, but you mentioned it, and we did say if they let him get it, they all deserve to lose.
They did.
And that's what happened.
And that's what happened. But look,
because you, as a jury member, you got to respect that. I've got to respect someone who, he got himself into this bad situation, but the fact that he still got himself out of it through the idol game, which is legitimate strategy, and the others the others allowed him. That's the poorest of all.
That is a damning. And I think Desi, that was the first question she asked. That was the first question that the jury asked was. How could you let him?
How could that be possible?
Yeah.
You make him look again. He's now going to be. Dr. Mike said it as well. You're one of the most amazing players, or whatever he said. He said something about how amazing Ben was. No, you guys were really
poor. That's right. He only looks good.
Yeah.
Because
you let him look that good. Not that he's. I definitely don't think he's a bad player. I think he has. They've all got flaws. But
he's got a horrible flaw.
And the horrible flaw, it's a horrible flaw to take it so personally, but maybe it's because he couldn't distinguish.
Oh no, look, even though taking it personally, I can forgive at one level, right? The thing I can't is he spent his social capital by 7.
Yeah,
he had no capital left at all with anyone. But
it was enough to still win him the $1 million.
Well, no.
See, Russell spent his, and he's never been able to get across the line. Because he's pissed people off so much.
Well, I think, and this goes back to something I think I said last episode about the makeup of the jury. Yeah. I don't think the jury was made up of very astute people. I think what I think is I don't think they were very astute, but also I think they were willing to extend a courtesy to Ben that he wasn't to them, right? I think the jury actually looked at gameplay only. They took the personal out of it and just went.
But do you also think because Lauren didn't? Lauren said, "Do something good with this for the other."
Oh no, I think she was swayed by the whole, PTSD.
Do you think there's a bit of that his story takes away from the game, so that whereas Russell's a millionaire oil type thing. So it's a bit of a difference. He's a millionaire, multi-millionaire already. So
exactly.
He doesn't have a heart. Whereas outside of the game, he did have some struggles with his social gameplay, but outside of the game, he's a struggling.
I think that played a big part. Like you could see in Lauren, like when she says do something good for the other vet, she was almost in tears. So she's voted for Ben. I don't think because of Ben. I think she's voted for Ben because of what he said he was going to do. But I really hate that. I state that right now. Like if the reason that you're playing the game is because you want to help other vets or you want to help disadvantaged children and that, well, why bother playing the game? Then we're talking about charity, right? Yeah. Well, let's just send in all our resumes to the channel and let's tell them what we're going to use it for, and then they can pick the best of us to give the money to. That's rubbish. This is a game. We're all there to win $1 million. What we want it for should not be a reason why you get it.
I still would have voted for him, I reckon, just because it's unexcusable to let him get those idols. Unexcusable. As great as I think Chrissy had a really good game plan, had a pretty pretty like. Overall, she wasn't. She was. What was?
I think
good.
Chrissy did a really good job post merge.
Yeah.
But then around about 8, she died off.
Yeah, I think
because of the switch in Alliance, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think at the end of the day, I would have voted for him myself, because his tenacity.
Yeah, I respect. I love that Chrissy was such a strong female and challenge-wise, but that's again because she's really good at puzzles.
Absolutely. Those puzzles.
And they're the ones she won. She won them because she had such a strength in puzzles.
And the strength she has in puzzles is amazing, because you got to remember at this stage, at day 38, right, to do a puzzle is a real struggle mentally, right, for anybody. For her to nail puzzles at this stage is just amazing. Yeah. And she was just on them.
Because she was always behind in those physical side things.
She was. And when she was coming across the, you had to walk across the plank and all that, across the water and all that.
She was way behind.
She was way behind.
Part of me was like, she's going to win anyway. No, I was like, she's going to win. It's a puzzle. It's an end game puzzle. She'll win. 100%.
This is an amazing thing, but when I look back on what Chrissy said at the final tribal, where she said she tried to play as ethically as she could, I think I'm starting to understand where the flaw is in her game.
Okay.
Right? Because when you get down to 5, and you've got somebody who's getting idols, right? It's very easy at that stage to say, well, who's the ejectee here? In case Ben does, and this is what they never did, and Devon, thank bless his heart, actually thought of it himself, right? But they never sat there and went, okay, look, there's 4 of us, but if Ben pulls out an idol, we need a vote on someone, right? And Chrissy never pulled Ryan and Devon aside and went, look, we're going to have to split the vote in case Ben's got an idol, and 1 vote has to go to Mike. She never did that. Ryan never did that. Devon, bless his heart, didn't go to them about it, but just
he did go to Ryan.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he did, and he's like,
oh, that's right, he did. And Ryan was like, no.
And Ryan's like, no, don't. That's stupid.
It'll destroy the alliance.
Yeah.
There won't be an alliance if Ben pulls an idol. Mike's going home. There won't be an alliance.
No, Devon's going home. Devon's like, I don't trust this.
But Devon's smart enough to actually sit there and in his own mind figure out we need to split the vote, right? Because he knew Mike and Ryan and Chrissy's vote alone was enough to send Ben home.
Yeah.
But if Ben has an idol, he's canny enough to sit there and go, I've got to write Mike's name down, or else I could be going home, Chrissy could be going, or Ryan could be going home, right?
Well, Chrissy can't because she's obviously...
but you know what I mean.
It's between the 3 of them and who's...
But they didn't do it as an alliance. This is the complacency that shocks me about...
It blows my mind. They had no contingency plan in case Ben...
What do we say about Theo? Always go with a plan B. Yet the week before they went with Ashley. This time they went in with... But it was almost like Chrissy was like, when Dr. Mike went.
Yeah.
She was almost like, well... That's my core alliance. And I was like really surprised. I was like, why didn't you guys do this automatically? Just go, we need to split the vote on Ben. Mike's going home. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
But she didn't act that way. And
we need to make Ben feel a bit more comfortable as well so he doesn't play his idol.
Exactly. But anyway, Devon, bless his heart, writes down Mike's name.
That was great. That was so good for you.
But that's purely Devon. Purely on Devon.
Yeah, 100%. That's someone who had a gut feeling and went, you know what, I can't trust this.
But they should have done that as a matter of strategy, just a matter of thought. You don't need a gut feeling about that one. You just have to think about it to go, we need to split the vote here.
Yeah.
But they were completely oblivious.
But they were also like, he doesn't have an idol.
Yeah.
He doesn't have one. And Devon's like,
but like you said, when Devon brings it up to Ryan, Ryan's like, no, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't have an idol. He can't.
How many seasons of this have you watched?
Yeah.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
It's just Devon there. Look, Devon there alone in that one moment to me proved that he is a better player than Chrissy and Ryan.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there are bits and pieces to say yes and no, but I thought that was a play that could have taken him to the million.
It was $1 million decision.
It was,
because we saw at the end who Ben wrote the name down, and it was a really good call on Ben's part. He looked at Devon and he's gone, "You are my biggest competitor for the next immunity challenge,
and I can't get rid of Chrissy."
Yeah, and I can't get rid of Chrissy. Okay, you're up.
Yeah, you're next because Dr. Mike and Ryan aren't getting any votes.
Exactly.
We know this. If it was any of those 3 with Dr. Mike and Ryan, it was a landslide.
Oh, it was. That's right.
It was going to be a landslide.
But anyway, we'll get to that. But so Devon, I think there's another side of Devon though. equally complacent, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Especially when Chrissy's basically given him a day to
and
figure out
the flint, and he's like, "Well, that's a sign.
That's a sign." He goes and lies on the beach.
I'm gonna.
I'm like, no.
Yeah. I was
You
like,
know,
maybe
it's
it
like-
is, because maybe he's gonna be the hero. He's like, he was getting a bit
No.
of but
Go practice. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Go start 100 fires that day. Burn the island to the ground.
Yeah.
You know, do something.
Yeah.
Don't lie on the beach and go, well, it's meant to be. I know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You sunk. Yeah, exactly. You sunk your own.
Ben
ship
is
there.
sitting there going, my fate is in my hands, and he's
But
doing
especially
everything.
like if I was like, I'm going to be up against Ben,
Yeah.
who has been out. He's a military man
Exactly.
who's actually seen the front line. These people are. I would count that they could start fires. Not that they had to have started them somewhere.
Somewhere,
training.
somehow. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Ben's. They both did the magnesium spray, but Ben's like right in here. Devon's.
Yeah, back here.
I'm like, and your sparks are.
Going everywhere.
Yeah, you got to control the sparks,
Yeah.
Devon. Come on, mate.
But yeah, Devon, that's what I can't believe is you see these moments of brilliance from these players, but then you see these moments of just foolishness.
Yeah, it was.
just silly.
I was kind of hoping that maybe I was like, why are you trying to start the fire from like a meter
Well,
away?
the thing I liked is
Launch
he
your
actually
spark.
sat there. You know when you didn't get a spark for the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He actually
Just
scraped some
more magnesium.
off,
Yeah.
right? Which is a good plan. That's what you got to do. But then, like you said, he's like gone back here.
And he's gone back again.
No.
I'm like, how do you control where that
Yeah.
spark is going to spark the magnesium?
Exactly.
Because I was like, because him doing that made me think Ben started to scrape more magnesium as well.
Mm.
But it's just his technique, like,
Yeah.
it's too far away.
Yeah, he sat on the
Which-
beach and
Yeah, which though, because now you got there, is our secret advantage that come.
No.
Oh, what did you think of the final challenge? I like the final challenge.
I thought the final challenge was brutal.
Yeah,
It was really like it doesn't look like it'd take much out of you, but I think that would be a really
I know,
draining challenge.
and for Ben to have the U upside down.
Yeah.
That's
And what I liked about it is, I like these challenges that combine things. It
Yeah.
wasn't just about endurance, like you had to have endurance, but you also had to have concentration.
Yeah,
And you had
steady hands.
steady, and you have to be steady. It's not about jerky motions.
Yeah.
You have to have motor control. You know, so I like it.
Yeah, I like that challenge. It was it was a rough one.
And as a new one, it was really rough.
Now,
you know?
what do you think of the secret advantage?
I think it's horrible.
I love it, but don't call it a secret advantage.
Look, I'll agree with you. There's one thing about this that I didn't like, and that was the secret.
It was an advantage.
It
was not an advantage.
It
at
was
all.
not well, they actually called it the last secret. They didn't call it an
No, it was,
advantage.
the last secret advantage.
No, they didn't call it an advantage. They said, here's the last secret of the game. That's what he said. And when he said it, straight away I went, hang on, he didn't say advantage.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that's twigged me that something was wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like it, and there's a reason. If you've spent your social capital by that stage of the game, now, I've had favourite players I've wanted to win, who have gone out being in exactly Ben's position. They've gotten to 4, 3 people have voted them out because they didn't have the social capital to keep going. Now, even though I love them as players, right? They had spent their social capital, and the correct result is delivered. They get voted out by the 3 who don't want them around, right?
Yeah.
Ben's been very lucky this game. Right?
Yeah, exactly. He's had a lot of luck, and
and he's even had the luck. They've changed the rules of the game at the end. He should have gone home at 4.
I mean, we've had final 2. I mean, obviously for the first season. I don't know if second season had final 2 or final 3. It did have.
And season 3. I've been going back.
You've gone through. You've gone old school. So, but then
very
so
different.
it was like final 2.
Yep.
Then it's been final 3.
Yeah.
For
That's right.
10 plus years.
10 plus years. Yeah.
This year,
Yeah.
it changes.
Back to
It's
final
still
2.
final 3, but it's not voted in.
It's sort of effectively final 2 almost. But anyway, look. What I liked about the final 4 is this. It came down to your social game. If you got there with a good social game, like
Ryan.
But we have seen mate.
I'm just saying.
No, he
Ryan's
said
game
he had a
was-
good social game. I didn't say he had a good social game. But we have seen him, and it's amazing when it happens. You get 2-2 in the final 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so good because you see 2 vote, and they know they're going to fire. Like The hard part is actually pulling off a 2-2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? The easy thing is the 3-1. The hard part's the 2-2, but it's great when you see it happen.
Yeah, exactly. See,
Right?
see, and that's the thing. And because my girlfriend was saying the same thing, she's like, Ben, how does Ben? I'm like, there's no way, because what Ben needs to do, which is not possible in Ben's situation, is force a
2-2.
force a 2-2, which we
Exactly.
got in the Australian season.
I love that.
Yeah.
2-2 is
Jericho was able to force the 2-2 or force the 1, whatever, to go to battle off for fire to get
And what
himself
you
in.
need for that is social capital. You need somebody else to sit there and go with you. Yes, I'm willing to take a 50-50 chance with you rather than flip on you.
Yeah.
And that comes down to your social game.
And Ben, there was no chance Ben would ever have been able to.
Had zero social
Because
capital.
it was one, because he didn't have the social side, but two, because you had Ryan, who everyone would want to take.
Oh, and Mike. If
And
Mike had a mate,
you had two people floating around in the final
Exactly.
five that weren't going to win.
Exactly.
Whereas if
Exactly
you have a bit more of an even competition, it's like, well, yeah.
That's right.
If there's a bit more evenness to it,
That's right. It's 2-2.
They can win. They can win. They can win. Maybe
Exactly.
my best hope. I think I can beat you, but I can't beat you. When everyone's like, I definitely can beat this
That's
guy.
right.
I'm taking this guy.
That guy.
You know, you might have a chance of winning, but I definitely can beat him.
Yeah.
So it was never going to happen. And I do agree. I love when someone can cause the
2-2 is
and
fantastic.
force a fire making challenge. But I like that there is a fire making challenge to finish it off, to get that final spot in. Because I've always loved it. Like I said, I love a 2-2 to go there, but it doesn't always happen, and you're left with more.
I think though that this is where I said earlier that there was a problem with it being a secret comes into it. I think that you may be able to trace some of Devon, Ryan, Chrissy, and even Mike's complacency, right, about Ben, to the final three. They knew up until until Chrissy was handed that role, right? They absolutely knew that no matter how many idols Ben played, no matter how much he went out there and looked at, etc., right? They knew come Final Four,
if he doesn't win immunity, he's gone.
He's gone. He did not win immunity, right? So they knew going into that challenge, only one of us has to win immunity instead of Ben. And it was a very close thing in the end, right?
Yeah, well, Ben would have won easily long before anyone else.
Right.
But it was that's what's great about
exactly. That's
the challenge. It's mental.
Exactly. It's mental as well.
Awareness.
You put in a wrong letter, upside down, go get it back, and all he had to do was go and change one letter, knocked them all off.
And then the panic set in.
Yeah, boom. He was just like he was rock steady up until that point. That one little mistake cost him the challenge, right? But this is why I don't like it, is because from Chrissy, Devon, and Ryan's point of view, they knew they finally had him.
Yeah.
He was gone. Like every other season of the game, what would have happened? Ben would have gone home. And I think that's part of the complacency back with the idols. I think they were sitting there going, well, it doesn't matter.
Like I said, it's hard to have ever picked that until she got there was an advantage to it, because I know he said there's one more advantage to the game, and that's power.
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't power.
It completely rooted them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's another word for it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like that's
it was the biggest disadvantage I'd ever seen.
Yeah, it's like to get there and win the final immunity challenge is, and we've said that quite often. Yes, we can go 2-2 and go fire.
Yes, we can.
We can go to 2-2 and get fire, but more often than not, you're obviously you're in, but you have a larger chance to have the two people you can beat next to you. And this eliminated that 100%.
100%.
What? I have no power now.
Yeah, exactly.
I have zero power. I take the one goat with me.
Exactly, and I go, I don't like it at all, and that's why I don't like it, because it really plays against the social game. If you've played a really good game, it plays against that, and it introduces just luck.
Well, does it introduce luck? Because you should be able to make a fire by now.
No,
that's not a luck challenge.
But it is, right? Because it's 50-50 who's going to win that challenge, right? Like Ben may not have actually made the fire. Devon might have, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it depends on who you got there and how often they've made fire, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But my point is this: that was not say at the start of the season that this was victory conditions.
True, that was a twist. That
I think it would have.
Whereas now, future, Jeff said that it's going to be part of the game from now. Being part of the game now, I think it's better. Being thrown at you because now you can prepare for this.
Exactly, that's my point. Is they've been playing all the way down to 4, as if they get final say in who's going to be 3, right?
Yeah.
Because every other season, that's the way it's happened. They get handed a piece of paper when they actually get there. They've won immunity. They've done. This alliance has done everything. Well, we've discussed their failures, right? But effectively, they've done everything right to get the 3 of them to 4, so they can get rid of the guy they want to get rid of, and all 3 of them be sitting in the council.
100%.
They've worked for that.
Yeah.
They get told, no, that's not going to happen.
That's not how the game works anymore.
That's not how it works anymore.
Yeah, not an advantage, not a strength, not a nothing. It's not power, Jeff. There's no power to this.
No.
There is power going into future seasons. Now we know that's how the game is going to set up.
If you get to 6 now, and you know that it's only you get to take 1 guy, and there's 2 to face off. Well, now you have to make sure that the person you don't want to win has to go at 5, not at 4. Yeah, that changes things dramatically.
And now it's also, like I said, it goes back to your Robin Amber style. You want a good close person.
Exactly.
You don't want 2 good close people.
No, you don't.
You want a good solid 2 that can get you there, or you want to go. It might even lead you to be going. I need to play this more of a solo game and bring in the person that I'm going to beat.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot more. The game changes, and I like that. I like it going into the future. I didn't like that it was claimed this knowledge is power and all this other stuff.
The problem I have is I love the 2-2 face-off if we can get it. I think that's really dramatic.
Yeah,
I think if you're good enough to manage an alliance down to 3, I think you deserve an advantage.
Yeah, true, and that's not an advantage. And I agree with you. There's no advantage there. There's no. It's actually really disadvantages your game because Chrissy, without that, possibly would have gone in and won. Like
even if she had, Devon may have. You know
Devon may have won, but I still think Chrissy could have had a stronger argument and been able to play her because I think she gave a fairly okay final discussion.
I think she did too.
Yeah, like I don't think her discussion was bad at all. You know, she did go, well, yeah, he's a warrior, but I'm a mum and we do this. Like, you know, there was some stuff. I thought she played that really well, whereas I don't think Devon would have played as strongly, only basing that on him voting for Ryan.
Yeah, that was silly, I think.
Yeah.
What I mean is, I don't think it's silly, sorry, but I think he did it purely out of...
love.
Yeah, or, you know, I've been allied with this guy most of the game. Well, you know what I mean? That's why he gave him the vote. You know, it wasn't out of who was the best player. It was about... And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think at that stage you've got to take a step back and go, look, even though I really like the guy and I spent time with him.
We did do some strategy together, but these people played better than
And I didn't like what he said to the council because, like, Ryan basically sat there and said, I was the puppet masters for all this game. We can get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
And I think it was Lauren turned around to Devon and said, "Is that true?"
Yeah.
And you know, you can hear the disbelief in her voice.
Yeah. And
Devon was like, "Yeah, that's true. He did it through me."
Yeah. Well, see,
and I'm like,
"No,
Devon, it's your game."
Yeah. Well, there is a bit of both. Like there was moments where Ryan was getting it through Devon, but they were working as a team. And I think Devon saying, "Yeah, it was through him." Actually discredits his own game.
That's what I mean. It discredits Devon's game.
You guys, we work together. It's like Luke and Jericho.
Yeah.
No, and Luke said it. Jericho and I actually were working together.
Yeah, together.
He wasn't pulling strings. He wasn't following.
Exactly.
We worked together. And if Devon did something like that with Ryan, a bit more.
I would have been much happier about that, right? Than just Jess who worked through me. You know.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if we're up to it yet, but we're talking about the tribal. This is our second time we've had this discussion tribal.
Oh, look, one thing I would like to say is, Jeff, you know, when it first kicked off, and I think after Desi asked us, when, I forget who asked the second question, whether they were asked the second question, all of a sudden you had three people, three people talking over each other. And I really want Jeff to be able to sit there and go, no, somebody talks, the others remain silent. I want to hear what they've got to say.
Yeah, it just to me it became school kids bickering in a playground over whose ball it is.
I don't think any of them looked good while they were doing it either.
It was, and that was something that you wouldn't get if you can have everyone. Because I also I also didn't hear many people. You don't hear from everyone on the jury.
No, you don't. No.
But some people sat back and talked. Where I really loved when they come up with a question. I don't mind everyone. I would love, like, and I think I said this last time. I'd love everyone to have a question with a bit of free flowing discussion, but everyone have a question.
I think
not. Let's talk about our wit. Yep. Let's talk about that last.
I think I said last time that I would prefer the more structured approach of everybody's got to ask a question or have a statement, right? But then at the end of that process, you can have a free-flowing discussion where you just say, open it up and go, okay, for the next 5 minutes, you can ask them anything, and they can ask you stuff. Let's make it a genuine discussion where somebody that's a contestant can actually say to the jury, well, what do you think about what he did? Yeah. When he did that.
Totally agree.
Something like that. That would be much better than, when Chrissy and Ryan and Ben are talking all over themselves.
And they're just yelling at each other, saying, no, you didn't do that. I'm like, this is ridiculous, guys. You're adults.
That's right.
You're bloody adults.
That's right.
I know $1 million is up for grabs, but let's just calm.
They couldn't help. They were scrambling over each other together.
And it just was like, you did this. No, I did this. No, you're shit. No, you're shit. I'm better than you. I'm like, it was really...
Look, you've come up with the best description. It was like, playtime at a school ground.
Yeah. And that's what we needed. We needed the teacher to break it up.
We did, and that's why I want Jeff.
Jeff needs to jump over that a lot.
Exactly. He has to be on the... Like, okay, we're going to take Ryan first.
And I think someone in the jury may have even mentioned them.
I hope so.
I think from memory, obviously my memory's not great, but from memory, I thought someone mentioned, you guys are just talking over you. Like, I don't want to vote for any of you. Like, I have to, but right now I don't want to because you're kids. What is this?
Exactly, yeah.
It's not attractive. It's not helping your game at all. Just squabbling.
But look, there is one. Let's start at the beginning of the. Let's start. We've already been all over it. But one of the things I liked in the final trial was when the question was asked of Ryan, I think by Cole. I can't remember who it was, but what was your strategy? How did you? And Ryan, bless his heart, was like, I've been the puppet master from the beginning, and he was telling them how he was the one, And Joe, did you see Joe's reaction? He instantly cracked up. But he wasn't the only one. Everybody else on that jury had a smile on their face. And look, I'm not being disrespectful to Ryan here, because Ryan in his 1-to-1 just before the council said, look, all I can do is lie.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I've got nothing.
I've got nothing.
I thought I would have played better than this, and I didn't. So I'm gonna have to try and I'm just gonna have to turn this into something.
And I'm gonna have to lie, and that's what he said in his 1-to-1 the camera. All I can do is lie.
Yeah.
He went in there, he lied. The really nice thing about it is everybody on the jury knew he was lying. Yeah. Like, they had smiles on their face. Nobody actually. But a couple
it's not flying, mate.
Yeah, it's not flying.
I'm not trying to do, but it's not going to work.
I thought Lauren was very nice to him by saying to Devon, "Well, is this true?"
Yeah.
Just like I think she was hoping that Devon would say something more along the lines of, "Well, instead of yes, it's true," something more along the lines of, "Well, look, that's his take on it," but it was a bit more like you said.
Yeah, it's like
we were together, blah blah blah, right? And I think that would have actually given him a lot more credibility.
Yeah.
Than Devon just saying, yes, that's the way it was.
Yeah, and I think his lie, I think he could have come up with a better lie.
Oh, it was a terrible lie in the end, but I was the one pulling. Because you've got 7 people on that jury that were part of the voting process all the way down.
Yeah, and then you also missed some pivotal votes, so how were you the puppet master? And it's like, well, if you were controlling everything, what about these two votes? And he goes, yes, I didn't know those votes were happening.
That's right, and straight away you've torpedoed yourself. You've lost, right? But I thought that was funny. To tell you the truth, I'd love to have seen what Dr. Mike would have said at final council. Like, I mean, he thought he had a really good shot at it, right?
Yeah. And
I would have liked to have seen what his take on that would have been.
Yeah, I would have really enjoyed that too, because I did actually enjoy his question to Ryan. What have you learned? And I'm like, that's a really cool question. What have you learned?
Yeah, what have you learned?
Ryan didn't really give us much of
Didn't give anything back,
Didn't give a great answer for that one. Right. But I'm like, that's a great question, Dr. Mike.
I think Dr. Mike would have quite happily answered that, because I think Dr. Mike's learned a lot.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I think Dr. Mike in another game probably wouldn't perform as much, but as badly as he did. Probably might be a good player, but he'd be a better player, I think.
Yeah, he should be a better.
He's been through the ringer, you know what I mean? But, look, at the end of the day, I wasn't entirely happy that Ben won, but I wasn't entirely happy.
I was, because those other people deserve not to win. They 100%. This goes to my other thing. I'm sorry, like we said it last week. They don't deserve it. If they let Ben get another island.
Look, what I mean is, I think Ben's loss of the social game by I think 7, you think 6. That's fine.
Oh, whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I
think that's really bad. I think that's really bad in the player, and that's why I don't think you should win. But equally, and this is what I mean, equally, right? Chrissy, Ryan, and Devon, there's 3 people, making all the same mistakes except for Devon. Devon was the only one that redeemed himself a bit by actually sitting there and going, we need to split the vote on this vote.
Yeah.
And did it all himself.
Yeah, and saved his own life.
And saved his own life doing it.
Yeah.
But he didn't know he was saving his own life. He was doing it to save his alliance.
No, he kind of, I get a gut feeling that if he's going to go for someone, it's coming for me. And
but what I mean is he's also saving his alliance by doing that, because he could have voted Ryan, he could have voted Mike, right? We don't know. He didn't know at that stage. It's just a gut call that I need to split the vote on this one. Good on you, Devon.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But like I said, the only ameliorating factor I think here is these 3 have gone, well, look, it doesn't matter what happens. At 4, Ben's going home, because that's the way this game works. And I think that's where it all fell down for me.
Okay.
I think I can't help but think of it like, look, Ben's just gotten really lucky and been handed a lifeline he didn't deserve.
Yeah.
Right? The other 3 who have not played well, but have played themselves into position, have suffered for it.
This obviously, this season was all about different secrets and all this different play.
Can we talk about next season? Because
we haven't finished this season.
That sounds actually really interesting. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but and part of me goes, this final secret that do you reckon they put it in there to save Ben?
No, I think there's a reason they've put it in. I think it goes back to
I think
dead rubber. Like, I think a lot of the times when you get 3-1,
it is.
It's all over and done.
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably sit there and go, "Oh, well, they've won.
Yeah.
I won't watch that episode. I'll just tune in for the reunion."
Because the other 2 have no hope of winning. Agree. And whereas, like you said, the 2-2 split is dramatic.
Oh, the 2-2. Everybody will watch that.
And a compromise, they've kind of gone, well, we get our fire-making dramatic moment, but what it's going to do is going to allow a more live final.
Exactly. That's right.
So there is, like I said, it was 4-5 or whatever it was. No, it was 3. How many? There was 8 people. So 4, 3, and 1. Yeah. So it's 4-3.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. At the end of the day, I think they've done it purely for the program's sake, as in to make it more dramatic at 4. They don't want the 3-1 thing to happen a lot anymore.
Yeah, because it does kill the final.
It
Whereas
does.
It
doesn't kill the final, but it kills that episode of the 4-1. Because if after you see the 5th person voted off, if you know it's 3-1, you're not going to tune in that week. I think that's a lot of the reason that episode's been
3 episodes all together now.
Yeah, the 3 episodes is all together. But a lot of people might tune out and go, I'll turn it off and go and make dinner while that's on. You don't know with the viewing public.
Yeah, and the 2-2 doesn't come often enough. So as a sacrifice, it's like, look, it's great when it happens.
Yeah.
But let's just force it into that situation where now our final 2, our final 3 is a bit more live.
If you know that at the start of the season, that's the victory conditions.
Yeah.
Then you can sit there and go, I'll plan for that.
Yeah. And now they can. So that's what I'm excited to see where it goes, because I like the fact that our final tribals will be a bit more contested. We could get a lot more closer finals.
We
could even get a draw final, which we haven't got. 4-4.
Exactly. Well, one of my favourite players went out in exactly the situation Ben was in. If that rule had been in, she probably would have made it.
Yeah.
And she would have won if she had got there. If she had made 3, she would have won. There was hands down, no contest, right? She was the best player. Booted her.
Yeah.
The alliance survived, and they reaped that. They reaped the rewards of surviving as an alliance.
Yeah.
They got rid of the best player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can't fault that.
Yeah. So I don't actually mind them bringing it in because of that.
I do mind because, again, if you get to that, if you get there with your alliance intact, you deserve to have the advantage.
Well, now your alliance is smaller. That's all.
Well, actually, it's not really an alliance anymore.
No, true. You want. Well, what is it? Because
you want Mike.
You can't get there alone anymore. Like, it's really hard to get there on your own.
Well, no, that's what I mean. I think they've opened it up so you can get there alone.
we'll see. Like,
That's my problem.
they're trying, but you still have 38 other days that you can't do it alone.
Oh, of course.
So it's actually going to mix up the game and the strategy behind the game coming into next season.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see it.
And so now you can talk about Ghost Island.
Well, you know, when I saw the horns...
You got way too excited.
Exactly. Well, you know, when they started the... this is going to happen next season, it was all about decisions that haunt you. And they replayed a couple of them. You know, there was the one where Jay played the false idol that Adam had put out there, and you know, Jeff was like, "This, I can tell you that this is not."
And you see his face.
His face is like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know, but there were various moments from episodes that I've seen where you know people who like there was Sierra.
Yeah.
Making the horrible decision to say to Sarah, "Oh, I've got this secret advantage," and then Sarah going, "Well, I need that," right? And making sure she got it, right?
James having 2 hidden immunity idols and still going out. Ice cream scoop kid, giving his idol away.
Hey, right? So I'm just wondering though. I thought when I saw that, well, all these players would be coming back.
I got so excited for a second.
So did I, right? But like, it's not. It's new players. It's new
players with. It's going to be.
How are they going to revisit those? There's going to be
there looks like there's a place where I don't know. I'm
how do you duplicate those mistakes so that new players who didn't make them again? Or I don't know how they're going to.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do. But
it's really new.
I was very excited to say all the people who have done the horrible mistakes because you've got to have enough to fill it.
Exactly.
Fill a season, come back.
Yeah. Oh, look, maybe they'll make guest appearances or something during the thing. Yeah, or I don't know, but I'm really excited because they're...
As the ghosts.
Yeah. Hey, that might be it. I don't know. But it's an exciting exciting concept because you don't know how they're going to pull it off.
Yeah, it's like, I feel, how you get maybe you get a choice, and this is, maybe it's like, this is, you pick A or B. And in A, you get this, or B, you get an unplayable idol, or you must give away your secret advantage.
Yeah, right.
You know, you've got your secret advantage, you have to give it away.
You have to give it away to someone, right?
Yeah, so they're kind of mistakes. You have a hidden immunity idol.
Like maybe you go out and find an idol, and the thing actually says, this is not an immunity idol, but you must manage to convince somebody else that it is.
This can't be played.
Yeah,
this idol can't be played.
Yeah.
How do you use it?
This
idol must be given. This is a fake idol.
Yeah.
This is...
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be... Look, I would actually enjoy a season where there were no idols and they had all this sort of stuff where you had to convince other people to, like, either use a false idol or whatever, or give up their immunity or... Yeah. Maybe that would be a challenge to them. Maybe you're right. Like, maybe somebody gets told, you got to try and pull Sierra. You've got to try and make somebody give up their immunity for you.
Yeah, if you can get this to happen, you get this reward.
That would be very exciting.
I don't know, it's going to be complicated.
Really challenging.
So I am excited. I like the theme of it. I like, it seems that, they've themed it up, and I like that. We haven't had because when we saw that cave, I'm like, oh, are we going to get a Redemption Island? Or
that's what
there
I
was
thinking.
Something in there. Yeah. There was like, they go there. That must be the ghost place where there's. Maybe they do go there and they have to choose. They go. They lose a challenge. They go to the Ghost Island, or whatever. Because that seems.
Oh, that may be what it's based on.
Yeah, it might be like you got it's same as what we got Redemption Island and Exile Island. Yeah. They've been themed ones. Now we've got Ghost Island coming in. So if you lose something, you are sent to Ghost Island, where there are these.
You'll have to face a choice that will somehow be tied in with that mistake that was made prior. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah.
So you spend a night away from camp, you get this, and it is a fake hidden immunity idol that you must plant.
Yeah, or something like that.
I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, oh look, it sounds interesting. I'm excited. I always get this way, when they announce the next season. I can't wait for it now.
I know, but this one is different because it is, like I said, millennials versus Gen X. Like, oh, cool. What is the cast going to be?
Yeah.
This one, like, what's Exile Island? What's Redemption Island? When they have a theme behind it. And this is a theme we haven't seen before.
That's
it's like, all new contestants, great. But Ghost Island, what the hell is Ghost Island?
When you think about it, right, it's a pretty simple game. It's basically like pit 16 people or 18 or 20, whatever it is, people against each other in various tribes to do various things, right? But they've managed to re-theme and rejig the game consistently over 17 years so that it remains fresh and interesting, haven't they?
Yeah, and like you know, like we have your little themes, like you know, your heroes versus villains or fans versus favorites.
Yeah.
These are things, but when you get like this is a big theme that
It
I
is.
really love.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. It's,
as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, this is going to be good.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what is Ghost Island? And yes, please, I'm on board.
Same here.
When's March or April when it starts?
Well, you know, when they started playing the clips, I was like, oh wow, this is going to be bring these people back.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah,
I got really excited because James is up there in my top. No man has ever ripped out a tree apart from James. And he just ripped it out with his bare hands, and I'll never forget it. However old I was, I might have been 12 or 13 or something when he just ripped out this. That guy is the best.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I got a chance to see James again.
Oh look, I was hoping to see the guy. There's a lot of people that made horrible mistakes that you could want to come back and see again. But anyway, would Aussie count in that group?
Aussie counts in all groups for me. Anytime I can have Aussie back on an island, I will have him on the island. Aussie has made all the mistakes. Aussie's a hero. Right. Aussie's a villain.
Spent the most time in the game of anybody.
Yeah, get him back on.
130 days or something.
He's done 4 seasons. Get him back on. Just get Aussie back on. Just give him a win. Let him win once. Let my boy win a mil. I just want him to win. Come on, Aussie.
That's look, I'd love to see Aussie come back for another season.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him win just because. You know?
And it'll shut me up.
No, but then we'd lose all this.
I just love him so much. He's my favourite. Like, he's my... I've got a lot of favourites, but Aussie is number 1.
Well, when do you think the new season will start?
March, April, same as usual.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's stuff.
I can't wait. I'm on it now.
I know. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, at the end of the day, I think Ben's not a very good player, but I would have voted for him.
Oh, we're going back?
No, I'm just wrapping up. Just recap.
Yeah.
You know, I would have voted for him. I think I can't fault him for winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think he had some real downsides, but as we've discussed, I think the others had some real downsides too.
And their downsides are inexcusable.
Yeah, so congratulations to Ben.
Yeah, good win. Yeah, Enjoy being a sole survivor, you lucky son of a...
Lucky.
I want to be one. Oh, God, let me be sole survivor.
And I suppose now's the time that we should say to
Merry
our
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Or Happy Hanukkah, or Mazel Tov, or
I'm just
Shalom,
going to say Happy New Year, but anyway.
What other festive seasons? Oh, God.
Happy Tree.
We will see you guys for the next season.
Yeah.
Of Survivor Ghost Island.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah. Okay.
I'm Robin.
I'm Jack.
Less hungover at the moment. We're the Inwits, and we'll see you guys next time.